All right, and welcome to Fast Break Breakfast, NBA podcast. My name is Keith, here once again in the flesh with my buddy John.
Hey now.
And only John. John, who has his yearly, what do you call this haircut?
White power.
This is your white power.
Well,
Are you going out for another apartment?
If you choose to live and appear to be conservative, I should at least fill the alt-right conservative part. I think this is the only haircut you're allowed to get.
Well, so you don't feel the alt-right look because your shirt is unbuttoned 3-4 buttons.
Oh, that's right.
And you have is that an amulet? A pendant?
I like amulet, medallion.
Medallion.
I like amulet. I might start using amulet now.
Yeah.
This is Quetzalcoatl.
So, yeah. All right.
Right.
Is that some Aztec?
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's very nice. So
I'm somehow related to those people.
So you don't look white power, except for the hair is a little. But again, as a white person,
yeah,
when you go get your hair cut and if you're going to do any side shortening,
this was not an expensive hair.
Has taken that.
This is not an expensive haircut, and I'm pretty sure it's the only haircut that they are teaching.
So I used to cut my own hair.
That's awesome.
You're not shocked. And
no.
I
want to do what you do.
I would just clipper the sides of my head.
Yes.
I was ironically looking like a redneck.
Right.
I can't even. There's no enjoyment in that anymore.
I also don't think that you can do that anymore because your hairline will have receded from when you were young.
Right.
And you'll be disturbed.
Yeah, no, my hairline, it goes back, whatever, a centimeter every year.
Right.
Just a little bit. Like, I'm not going bald.
Right.
Because my dad is 70. It's just the hairline's just farther back. It just keeps creeping.
Yeah,
I might have overstated a centimeter a year. That's too much.
But I understand, because it's the same way with a buzz cut. A person our age can't do that.
No, I can't buzz cut
The
anymore.
shock would kill you.
I did a buzz cut 9 years ago. I remember this first year of marriage or second year of marriage. Did a buzz cut. I looked ill.
Right.
Just ill. I mean, I'm skinny. I'm not healthy.
No.
I have skinny arms, skinny shoulders.
Yes.
I did the buzz cut. I did it because I was reffing basketball.
Sure.
And I was like, whoa, they told me I got to have a conservative haircut. Just made me look ill. I don't think it gained me any respect in any coach's eyes.
The first time I met you, you were doing a Walter White cosplay. Halloween or something.
I'm pretty sure we met before that.
First time I remember meeting you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right. No, that was a Halloween. I don't know what year that was, but I was in my buddy Josh's Halloween band.
Right.
And I was dressed as Walter White. He was also dressed as Walter White.
Right. And when you have the buzz cut, you have an intimidating visage.
Well, so I went buzz cut with the thick goatee.
Yes.
And I do look frightening with the goatee.
Yes.
I look I look like the drug runners in Miami Vice.
You're a nightmare changeling.
The Michael Mann.
So you can assume many different personas.
Yeah, many different horrifying white personas.
I am always Augustus Gloop from the Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
My favorite idea for you in your appearance was the idea of the Valentine's Day cherub.
Oh, yes.
Because you are cherubic.
I mean, I can pull that off. I vacillate between a different Golden Girl, Uncle Buck, and just a fat baby.
Well, we should say the only reason that it's just you and me here.
Chuck's dying.
Chuck has the flu.
Right.
And we were going to record on Wednesday, and then
your baby had flu.
Baby was sick, so thankfully she doesn't have the flu. But then Chuck later that day is like, yeah, I got the flu. Well, thank God he didn't come over.
No kidding. I'm just peril all around me. This is the highway to the danger zone.
We are on the highway to the danger zone. So you had the cherubic opportunity last week because it was Valentine's Day. After Valentine's Day, I don't know if you know what happens in the grocery stores. Easter candy.
Oh, I thought you were going to say candy sale.
No, well, probably.
Right.
But the Easter candy was out. Easter candy brings about my favorite candy. I've spoken about
jelly
it before.
Beans?
Specifically the Sweet Tarts jelly bean, only available at Easter. I think it's the best candy there is. I had to run to Target to grab us a headphone splitter. Right before recording this.
To get some candy?
And on my way out, I'm like, you know what? I might as well just swing by the candy aisle. Sweet Tart has a new jelly bean, John.
Oh, do tell.
They have a Sweet Tart sour jelly bean.
Ooh.
Right in my wheelhouse.
Sour tart.
Gotta say, John, I might have a...
I don't know if I can watch this. Is it taste test time? I picked I took a weekend off from sugar-free diet, and I should have gotten some Jelly Bellies in there.
So you're still sugar-free. You can't touch these.
Nope.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
They
look real good.
I wanted to film you. I just pulled out the bag of Sweet Tart jelly beans.
They have the right color. This is a sensational, vibrant color. These look like Skittles.
They're amazing.
These are Skittles.
I got to say, the early returns of Sweet Tart jelly beans are awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Sweet Tart does it again. Sweet Tart has a brand. They care about their brand.
You know what's weird is I don't like Sweet Tarts, but I like everything else Sweet Tart does.
I think now the original Sweet Tart is near the bottom of the totem pole of Sweet Tart candies, which is amazing. Where you have Starburst. Starburst original, still the apex of the totem pole.
Right.
Right underneath.
Well, let's be honest.
Starburst
It's
jelly
just
beans.
pink Starburst is the apex of the totem
I
pole.
like pink and red.
Yeah, that's it, though.
I will understand an argument against red. 'Cause some people get the severe cough syrup.
If you had the chance to buy a bag full of pinks
Yeah.
or a bag full of pink and red, would you
Right.
just go pink?
I would go pink and red.
Okay. I think that's it's a little hipsterish.
No, it could be a flaw. It could be a personal flaw. So speaking of jelly beans, sort of my breakfast. John, did you have breakfast?
Did I ever?
What'd you have?
And I had a breakfast that only you could love. Chipotle salad.
Ho!
No beans, no rice, double meat, all kinds of sauces.
Perfect.
It was
Every
disgusting. Yes, it was so
Probably
bad.
too, but that is overload of sodium.
Probably.
It's a sodium bomb.
Yeah. It was rancid.
So I actually had Chipotle as well. Too.
Nice.
But
I looked for you as I was there.
did you go to the one near me?
Yeah, it's slammed cafeteria style place.
The one near my house.
So sad.
It is the worst Chipotle I've ever been to consistently.
It's really bad.
I won't eat there.
It's really bad.
I've almost gone to the measures of alerting Chipotle.
Right.
Like, hey, you need to send somebody
It's in a bank.
to your Powell Avenue location.
It's inside of a bank.
I think their recipes are wrong.
Yeah. I shouldn't go there, but it's like one of those things where there is nowhere to eat over here.
Right, nowhere.
Like, it is such a wasteland, and I end up driving around in circles just trying to find a place. And I think it's some sort of like word association, like Keith Chipotle.
Yeah, I know.
Chipotle Keith. And I just like,
appreciate that.
there's a salad. I'll get a salad at Chipotle. It can't be. There's no way a salad can be that bad. And then I get it. I'm like, this is disgusting.
I'm telling you, not everyone loves Chipotle. I can accept that.
I think it is a bad Chipotle.
The Chipotle near me, the recipes are wrong. Maybe a disgruntled employee. I don't know how they do it. I assume they have.
Well, there are 42 of them.
I assume they have the posted recipe on how to make everything above like the food preparation area. I assume someone has changed the recipes there, and they're not quite right. My breakfast was after the jelly beans. Before that, it was going to be the Chipotle, but we spoiled that. So yeah, Chipotle burrito. It's a good day.
You did burrito breakfast burrito?
No, I mean I didn't get they do have the chorizo that has some eggs in there. But no, I just went with the
They don't really do like
chicken.
Chipotle doesn't deviate.
No, they don't.
Like every once they're like, we've got sofritas, which, as far as you know, is our standard tofu under a different marketed name.
Right. Yeah.
And they spring that, and then every once in a while they're like, you want the Chipotle? It's bright red. Or no, chorizo.
Right.
You want the chorizo? It's bright red. You never order in that because it's bright red and you're afraid of it.
So
You ever see anybody order it?
I did it once out of curiosity.
Did it one time, and when I saw how red it was, I was like, whoa.
Those are our breakfasts. After our breakfasts, we move to our breakfast in bed apologies. This is our chance to make right what we might have gotten wrong on any previous episode. It is often, frequently, the first time we talk about the NBA, which this show is ostensibly about. John, do you have anything you'd like to apologize for?
I have sundry apologies. I'll go ahead and throw one out to Larry No Pants Nance Sr. For calling him a cokehead when I might have been referring to David Thompson or any player from the 70s and 80s.
He did have some association. He was on one of those Suns teams that had the drug scandal.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Nance, so I don't know.
But I'm not going to besmirch him just yet. Until I've done lines with the man. Until I've seen the pupils get weird, which that's also not really true either.
We also we try to be a amusing basketball podcast, but we also flirt with respectability. We got to be, we make the jokes, but then we don't want people to take it the wrong way. So
we try to make jokes.
So we try to make jokes. Some people use cocaine in the NBA in the 80s, and it's bad.
I guess.
Because I don't want to.
I mean, of the drugs I've been addicted to, that's probably one of the lesser forms. I mean, I drank some coffee yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I was in a tournament and I was flagging and my brain wasn't working. And I drank some coffee and I was like, this is easily as intense as cocaine.
So,
like, it's a pep powder.
I want to come back to the tournament.
Okay.
But that drug talk segued into my apology, where one of our croissant questions last week was talking about what we thought would happen if there was a PED scandal in the NBA. And I just struggled to come up with the name of the documentary I was trying to cite. I kept wanting to say Pain and Gain, and I knew that wasn't it.
Pumping Iron?
I know, no, it wasn't Pumping Iron.
Stay Hungry?
It was Bigger, Faster, Stronger.
Oh, I don't know that one.
But
I prefer my weightlifting documentaries to be about Arnold Schwarzenegger molesting women and Lou Ferrigno crying.
So this has some Schwarzenegger footage, like anyone would have to.
Delicious.
But its takeaway was also, these drugs might be bad for you, but the scientific evidence is not that preponderant saying they are.
Sure.
There are other drugs much worse than you. It is not addictive. It is not deadly. Why is it banned? So that was also their takeaway. So again, talking about the drugs, I apologize for not being able to remember Bigger, Faster, Stronger.
Keith apologizes for saying steroids are bad. I might apologize next week for saying cocaine is good.
So
I might.
You also, I don't know, should you apologize to the Memphis Grizzlies because you circled your calendar for a trip to Memphis and said All-Star Weekend, no Grizzlies games, I'm going then.
Right. I was going to apologize to all of our listeners for talking about the Memphis Grizzlies so much for the past 5 years. I promise not to do that anymore. I am out.
Tell us why you were in Memphis, though. Tell us about your tournament.
Oh, I've played in a Magic the Gathering Pro tournament.
Yeah, that's awesome. How did it go?
Terribly.
Did you know it was going to... Did you have the expectation of doing well, or did you know you were going to get crushed?
So I am a narcissist.
Yeah, I think our listeners know.
So I can't envision scenarios where I don't succeed.
Okay.
So even though all the odds were against me, I was like, okay, so I'm definitely going to somehow win this entire tournament.
Yeah.
With thousands of people in it. Or actually just hundreds. But and I won my first 2 games. And in fact, the first match, I beat my opponent so horribly that he got disqualified from Rage. I also am one of the worst people to ever play Magic against in the world. Because I do, and no one does this, but I run my mouth the entire time.
Oh.
And people don't know what to do.
Is that rude? Is that acceptable?
Well, I found out it's not really acceptable.
So there's like a no table talk rule?
No, but if you give people a hard time, and I will tell you from get-go that you're one of the worst players I've ever played against, et cetera, et cetera. Even though I'm probably one of the worst players there. But I do that the whole time, and my first opponent went crazy over it. And he ended up getting asked to leave the table, but I was killing him anyways. But it was fun. One time I was playing against my buddy, who I went with, and who was he's the one who like taught me how to behave and told me you can't do what you're doing, and I did it anyways. And I called a judge over to complain about his hygiene. The judge hated it so much.
Oh man!
But it was fun. I mean, it was really like getting back to basketball, talking to Memphis fans like. It's over. It's over. Like I wanted to see if people were into like the Jaren Jackson Jr. thing enough,
right?
Or like the new stuff enough. And here's something else I found out because I wore my Tony Allen shirt.
Yeah,
it's been over.
Okay.
When they did what they did,
right?
They killed it. The team killed the identity. It's not the same Grizzlies. Like that's why I talked to so many people about it. Anytime I would sit down across from somebody, I'd be like, "Are you from Memphis?" Most people weren't. Right. Every once in a while, I'd get one, and there were multiple people there with Zebo articles of clothing, and I was the only Tony Allen thing I saw. But anytime I sat down across from a Memphis person, they were like, "Yes, Tony Allen." They're like, they traded him, killed the Grizzlies. It's over. It's just not living there. You don't know how much the identity is destroyed. Also. Penny Hardaway coaches the Memphis Tigers now.
Right.
And that is a big deal.
Also, Mike Singletary coaches the Memphis Express.
Are you sure it's not the shirtless Steve Spurrier?
Which is the semi-pro or actual pro football team that is also going to fail in Memphis.
Yes.
But, it's not great. Yeah, no, picking There's a lot of little guideposts in the story of the Memphis Grizzlies where it's like, well, that was a fork in the road and they went the wrong way.
Right. I think it's all like a horrible, purposeful scam to move the team away.
Well, choosing Ben McLemore over Tony Allen, it could be one.
Yeah.
Another could be Chandler Parsons, who returns to the Memphis Grizzlies for Friday night's game against the Clippers.
You played yourself, Chandler.
Yeah.
Do I pick up Chandler in iShop and in my leagues where I'm doing poorly?
Yeah. In iShop, I would say someone should roster Chandler Parsons if he's not already.
Do me a favor. You're winning by 1 billion points. Hold off till the end of the show. Let me pick up Chandler Parsons. And I'll do you a favor. I'll drop your boy Bruno Caboclo.
Oh, very nice.
See? Tit for tat.
In our negative...
Get these sweet tarts out of my face, man.
In our negative fantasy league hosted by Fantrax.com, I did drop a couple games because I was carrying hurt guys because we can't drop them because you can't get them back really.
No.
And my lead was so far. Because we're doing 2 games a week. I was 30-2 at one point. I was like, wow.
It's a good league. I try very hard, and I'm like can't get into the top 10.
I love that we're in a 36-team fantasy league.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And I'm really like my draft went very poorly. Like I did not know how to I didn't draft essentially. It was auto draft, but I'm like aggressively trying to get back in it. But the Grizzlies have poisoned my mind. And I'm like, the Grizzlies are so bad. Just give me Grizzlies. And I put lots of Grizzlies on there. The Grizzlies don't get enough counting stats.
Well, so it works. It works for me because I've been writing Garrett Temple, and I know we're going deep into our negative fantasy league, which only like 36 people know how it works. But
we need to get Ishfort back.
But Garrett, we got to get our ranking of all of our negative players. But yeah, no, let's move on. From our breakfast bed apologies, are feeling sorry about the Memphis Grizzlies, who will be without Jonas Valanciunas and Kyle Anderson on Friday, but they will be with Chandler Parsons. John, this team's trying to win. We've been through this many times. Yes. They're trying. This is the race to convey.
This is the
stunning. Race to convey what they have. 25 more games. Let me check the old Basketball Reference standings. The Grizzlies
have played 57, I believe.
Yeah, they played 59.
59.
They have 23 games left, John. How many do they win as they attempt to try to win basketball games and knowing other teams are going to be resting players and or tanking?
That's what makes it so interesting, and it truly is. A new season is upon us, by the way.
Right.
Especially if you're a gambler. Be prepared for some bizarre spreads.
Right.
And the over-unders are now purely preposterous. But I think the tanking will really help the Grizzlies.
Yep.
But I say that worried. Like I feel like Bickerstaff, the more he tries, the worse it gets.
Yeah. Because
his attachment to certain players is so insane and so detrimental to the team late in games that, there's like those crucial, like, this player's worth a few wins, a few losses here. Bickerstaff's like, he's worth a few crucial losses there.
So the 23 games left.
How many do they need?
They need to catch. They're trying to get up to 9th worst. They're 6th worst right now. They are a game and a half behind the Washington Wizards. Can they catch the Washington Wizards, John? I would say the Washington Wizards are way better than the Grizzlies.
Yeah, I would too. I mean,
but will at any point the Wizards give it up and decide just to coast through the end of the season?
The schedule alternates between the best of the best and the worst of the worst coming up here. This is bad, Keith. This is bad.
They're 3 games away from...
This is bad. There's no chance.
So they're 3 games away from the Pelicans.
Yeah. No.
Which the Pelicans are way better. Even if Anthony Davis sits...
I mean, they got to play the Thunder 3 more times.
If they keep playing Drew Holiday and Julius Randle and my boy Kenrich Williams, the Pelicans are not going to give up 3 games.
The schedule is not right for this.
The Magic have won 5 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, I believe we have the Magic upcoming.
Goran Dragic is back for the Heat, who are going to stay in the playoff race, so I don't think they can catch it.
No,
but anyway,
I don't either.
Again, John, 23 games left. How many can they win with all those factors we've thrown out? They're going to be
9.
trying to win. Yeah, I think I'm going to go
9.
7.
Wow.
I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win.
The Hawks.
I think they're going to win 30 games. The Hawks could catch them.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Just because the Hawks are that good. But anyway, let's move out of the breakfast in bed. Apologies. And before we move to our steak and eggs best thing, we have a few listener submitted questions. The croissant questionnaire.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Knock yourself out.
That croissant. Finish that croissant. That croissant.
Feeling Minnesota asks, is Harden step back three a 100% unstoppable move?
Well,
Manu Ginobili says, hell nah.
also, Josh Okogie swallowed it whole once.
I feel like Feeling Minnesota was asking this question
I think
to get the
he wanted the
Okogie.
shout out.
Yeah,
Well,
so
I will say
disqualified.
it is
Homer.
in the NBA pretty much an unstoppable move in that he can get it off. Now we know 99.6% of the time. And when he gets it off, he has like a 40% chance of hitting a three. So it is sort of like that tight end crossing pattern in Super Tecmo Bowl that even if you pick the play right on defense, you could still get 7 yards. So it's still sort of unstoppable in the fact that he can get it off just about every single time, except for when his boy, Feeling Minnesota's boy, Josh Okogie, sniffs it out.
At Love Kebab 69, there's a Grim Augury for you. He asks, if you are an NPC in a video game that's non-player character, for those not in the know, if you were an NPC in a video game who only existed to hang around town and say one line of dialogue, what would your one line of dialogue be?
So this is, I assume, inspired by Red Dead Redemption, which has a lot
Right.
of really good NPCs who are, like there's a eugenics guy in the New Orleans ripoff.
Do we really
town
need
of
a
Saint
eugenics guy and the Klan?
The
Are they one and the same?
The
Do you
alt-right-
find out that the eugenics guy
the
is a
alt-right
Klansman?
is well represented. But anyway, I would actually, I think, based on my background, evangelical background, John,
Oh, okay.
I would enjoy being a fire and brimstone.
You are
guy.
essentially Ray What's His Nuts from Deadwood, who plays the preacher who has
Oh
who has
the brain
epilepsy.
tumor. Yeah. No, I would like to be an NPC, but not in a city. I want to be the guy. I want to be like a wandering through the forest when you hear a noise, and then
Oh.
it turns out it's just a crazy preacher walking through the forest. And I would just,
Would you be a gunslinger preacher?
Now we're getting a little too
No. Okay.
like FX original.
Quick and the Dead. Remember that
elevated
Sam
pitch.
Raimi movie,
Yeah,
Quick and the
yeah,
Dead?
yeah.
I loved all those characters. It's a crazy Reverend gunslinger. He's a gambling gunslinger. He's a black gunslinger.
But I didn't come up with a line. It would have to be something like.
All right, give me a basketball line.
a basketball line.
Yeah. I got two.
Okay, you do yours then.
Ice, 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 ice.
That would just be.
And then, Scotty, remember the triangle, Scotty. Just some Phil Jackson.
Oh, I was just trying to think of a fire and brimstone. Something about
If it's not basketball, I will throw
repent
out
or the lake of sulfur is near.
I'll throw out my cowboy line that I remember best. There's a snake in my boots.
I also look like a Woody
Yeah.
from Toy Story.
When you get animated and those arms get going, it's basically Woody from Toy Story. So Keith has no answer. Just throw some scripture out there.
Well,
I know you got some.
I would say, turn from the lake of sulfur. That's all I
There
would
you go.
say.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's a great
Yeah.
one. That's a great one. Mike asks, what's your over-under on how many regular season games LeBron James will play the rest of the way? Whatever it is, I'll take the under.
Don't answer your croissant questions, Mike.
There's some people who are asking the questions in order to give the answer.
I know. I don't like it. The Lakers have 20.
Shots fired.
The Lakers have 25 games left. I assume if I'm setting the line for Vegas,
Yep.
I would set the line at 23 and a half games played. Where he would only miss one game. I would guess I would take the over. I assume he's only going to sit out one game, and that's assuming it's decided. I don't think he's going to get hurt again.
Right.
He's famously hardy, where he does not miss games due to injury. Obviously, this year he set out a few.
The only
weeks.
thing that's kind of spooking me is Vegas is kind of daring you to bet the Lakers will make the playoffs right now. Like they've set the line, they're daring you. They want you to take it.
So over All-Star break, when All-Star break hit,
Yeah.
it was even to make it or miss it. It was like minus
Right.
110, and now to make it, it's plus 130, I think.
Right.
So it's now, they're enticing you.
Yeah, that spooks me.
Well,
But you know what? This has been a disastrous year for Vegas.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just wrong again.
I mean, they have to catch the Kings and the Clippers. The Clippers have 2 games on
I think
them.
they would set it at 20.5, and I would take the over as well.
Yeah, I think he's definitely. I don't think he's going to miss 5 more games. I mean,
Look, this is not some
It'd be
grand
done.
design. He didn't do any of this on purpose. This is a disaster of his own unintentional making, and he will try to remedy it.
I mean, it's the GM work. I think Reggie Bullock can save him.
Mike, who is also asking this question, which I like this one a little more.
Oh, so this is actually stolen from the. I put this in here.
Oh, never
This
mind.
is from the. This is from the Open Floor
This
podcast.
is an incredible question.
This is the Open Floor podcast. I'm stealing this question.
Who is the worst player who could demand a trade and get a coach fired?
Yeah, so we've had J.R. Smith who's demanded a trade, and that did not happen because they could not happen. It couldn't work for him.
It's not Thon Maker.
Also, Thon Maker, who the Thon Maker Stanley Johnson trade was hilarious. I honestly, I cannot remember because I haven't thought about basketball in a week. I forgot where Thon ended up,
Right.
who he played for, because he got traded to the Pistons and then they sent him to somewhere else.
I think the answer is Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward in Boston. Perfect storm.
Oh, the worst player they could.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Thon Maker. Apparently, he is a Piston.
Yeah, Thon Maker's on the Pistons.
Well, I thought he got traded. Then I got traded. Maybe Stanley Johnson got traded. Stanley Johnson is
Did Thon Maker get traded from the Pistons? I didn't even
no.
notice.
Stanley Johnson got traded to the Bucks, and then the Bucks sent him to the Pelicans.
Correct.
That's where I'm confused. Okay, so yeah, Thon Maker is
Some Twilight Zone stuff where I know something that you don't. It's actually kind of terrifying. Do we all have pig faces? What's going on here? I think it's Gordon Hayward on the Celtics. Do you think someone worse?
You think, but Gordon Hayward, you think he could get Brad Stevens fired? That seems impossible.
Gordon Hayward has connections, and by connections I mean pigmentation.
Yeah, the worst player who could demand a trade and get a coach fired is Marc Gasol.
Oh, that's not funny. Marc Gasol's pretty good. I think there's worse players than that.
Well, he demanded a trade and he got a coach fired.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey.
What about right now at this moment, Derrick Rose? People love Derrick Rose again.
Could CJ McCollum get Terry Stotts fired?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I think he could.
CJ McCollum's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. So who's someone worse than CJ McCollum?
What if Lou Williams
Could Lou Williams
lost
get Doc
his
Rivers
mind?
fired?
Got
No.
very mad at Doc Rivers. No, you don't think so?
Could Aaron Gordon get
Yes.
Steve Clifford? Well, so then,
But Aaron Gordon's better than CJ McCollum.
Then you're balancing. Is he? I don't know.
I think so.
I think that I feel like those are peers.
Certainly has more potential, I think.
Yeah, but then you're missing with like if it's a good coach versus a newer coach on a bad team.
I feel like we're ignoring some like Nixian situations.
Well, Fizdale, anyone could get him fired.
Good point.
Fizdale, who has we haven't had any coach to this in a little bit, who's blaming Fortnite on the Knicks being bad.
That's your there's your
What's wrong with this man?
roving the Wild West spouting madness. That's your preacher in the
These
woods.
guys need to be going out to the clubs.
Huckster.
Anyway, let's do.
Hold on. I'm not done with this.
Oh, you're not done.
Okay. I got it.
What is it?
Bear with me. But could Chandler Parsons get JB Bickerstaff fired?
No,
You
I
don't think
he
so?
could.
If he suddenly played,
They had to send Chandler Parsons away so JB Bickerstaff would not play him.
that's a good point.
So,
But that's what I'm saying. If he plays and he's as bad as we,
no,
okay.
nothing. No, we're stuck with him.
I really can't think of anything worse than Gasol, and that's freaking me out.
Let's wrap. So those were our listeners submitted.
We got one more from Monte
questions.
World
Oh, we
Peace.
do?
How have you guys been lately? Doing okay?
Oh,
I'll say no and no.
yeah, not doing great. Not I will say you took John over the All-Star break. You went to Memphis for your Magic tournament. I adored the All-Star break.
Okay, cool.
I watched some TV.
I'm ready for the best our
movies.
steak and eggs then, because I think it will be conflicting.
Oh, well, I was just going to say, I got to see some. I caught up. I'm current on True Detective.
Okay, so my steak and eggs is I watch nothing to do with the All-Star game, and it was great. And I feel refreshed. I feel ready to take on the NBA again. Usually, I exhaust myself trying to catch every minute of the All-Star stuff.
Yeah.
And I couldn't this time because I was aggravating other nerds, and I watched nothing. The only footage I've seen has been I forgot to tape it. Has been like snippets and YouTubes. I watch compilations of stuff.
Right.
I track down.
Well, that's the best way to watch an All-Star weekend.
Right, but that's not what I usually do, man. I usually like sit there and like I've done live tweeted before. I've done like stuff where we watched it with people, and this was just I realized that going forward I have to watch this stuff. But for me, for my sanity, it was very nice to have 1 year off. And it seems like I took a good year off.
Yeah. Well,
although I liked the dunks.
We'll table it. Okay. I will say, if you want to submit your own croissant questions, you got to become a Patreon supporter. All those questions were from our Patreon supporters. And to do that, you go to patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. You can join our negative fantasy leagues like we were talking about for way too long earlier. You can join that Slack chat for $3 a month. For just $1 a month, you can get in, though, submit your croissant questions, and support the program. And
there's so many tiers.
There's a lot of tiers.
There's even a tier in which you can be a guest on the show.
Oh, and we have a... perhaps, is it going down?
I believe so.
It's going down. So support the show at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. And maybe you too one day will be a guest on Fast Break Breakfast.
SeatGeek saves you time and saves you money. Two of the more important commodities in our lives these days. They aggregate ticket selling sites together, so you don't have to go to 8 sites and then, I'm going to look at the 9th one now because I'm not quite sure. I was totally that way, of course. And then they also rank every ticket based on value. So you look at the section you want to sit in, find that big green dot, the darker green, the better. You'll start to experience just endorphins when you see that green dot and know that you're getting an awesome deal on the ticket. I used SeatGeek to go to a Bucks Wizards game, got awesome seats there for my fiance and me. So the way to get started with them, download the SeatGeek app and enter that familiar promo code
Fast Break.
By using that code to get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's promo code
Fast Break
for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. Let them know that you came from us.
Fast Break. John is an asshole. Fast Break.
Steak and eggs, best thing. And I'm chewing on a sweet tart.
I like it. I'll chew on some ice.
Steak and eggs, best thing. And we have a new voice on the line, John Burr.
Oh my.
Say hello to Patreon producer Ryan Love Kebab 69 Darling. Ryan, how's it going?
I'm doing well, fellas. Thank you for having me on.
Let's go easy on the sibilance there, darling.
Darling, do people call you Darling? I call you Darling in the Slack because you have a name Darling, which is a wonderful nickname to use. Is that what people around you call you?
Since
let me answer that for him. Yes.
Yeah, that's a yes. Since I was little,
okay.
Having it on the back of my high school sports jerseys was always fun.
Oh, I call him Darling, like Dennis the Menace, his neighbor. The bane of my Slack existence.
Do you like it when people call you by your first name, Ryan, or is it you prefer Darling?
Ryan's a girl's name.
I'll be honest. At this point, when people call me Ryan, it catches me off guard.
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah.
Ryan, what did you have for breakfast?
Yeah, Ryan, what's up? What's for breakfast, Ryan?
This morning I smashed half an avocado on slightly toasted bread.
Son of a bitch.
A little lime on top of that, and
stereotype.
A little bit of hey man,
he's doing this on purpose. It's a little backstory. Ryan is. Have you ever seen the famous GIF of the Laker fan whipping off his shades? That's Ryan Darling.
That's
We finally got him.
No, he's a mixture of the Laker fan ripping his shades off and Timothy Oliphant's character from Go. That's how.
Hey, Ryan's not going to get that reference.
I know it's way over his head.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You should watch that movie because I'm telling you, this is a stereotype, but not a bad one. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You're gonna love that movie.
You're a sexy, handsome ecstasy bandit.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it is.
nice.
So we're doing our steak and eggs, and part of it is having our Patreon producer Ryan on the show. John already shared with us his steak and eggs. You were saying just not watching All Star, having a week off from the NBA.
Hugely delicious. But Ryan, what's yours?
I think my steak and eggs for the week. It starts kind of bad. So Zion blowing out his shoe
the
other night in his really shitty Paul George shoes. Starting bad, but I think is making him into a martyr for getting NCAA players paid or kind of entirely foregoing it for Europe, which kind of leads into my real best thing. Donovan Mitchell tweeted out, "Hey, look, we got to get this changed. This isn't okay." And Luka responds with just these magic 4 words, "Go play in Europe," shrug emoji. And that that resonated really well.
It's almost as if that Luka has spent most of his life preparing to be a pro basketball player and is therefore much better at playing professional basketball earlier in his life thanks to making that decision. Also, if I had to go to University of Louisville like Donovan Mitchell did, I might feel very similarly.
That's a great steak and eggs, Ryan. You got me nervous there. You took me on a journey.
Yeah.
You started off with college basketball, which I was like,
well, he also started off with Zion's injury, which is my worst of the week. Because I mean, we don't even have...
I do like the fact that the Zion injury, this seems like the biggest stage ever. There'd been this whole social media build towards...
Obama was at the game.
There's this whole build towards how expensive the tickets are to UNC Duke, and these players are getting nothing. And then for him to get hurt immediately because of a blown shoe, it did work out perfectly.
Obama looked like Mahershala Ali in the old man scenes of The New True Detective.
Obama was wilding.
What's going on?
He's just living his best life. My best thing, it actually was from All-Star Weekend. So while All-Star Weekend is kind of boring, the rookie-sophomore game, the Rising Stars Challenge, I normally really enjoy.
Was Kevin Hart in that?
I got kind of, no. Kevin Hart, thankfully absent from this weekend.
Oh, really?
Guy Fieri was there. Guy Fieri. Excuse me.
Fieri.
Yeah. So the Rising Stars was kind of boring. All-Star Saturday night, I mean, yes, I was playing Red Dead Redemption at the same time to fill in the gaps, but it was pretty good. The skills challenge was incredible. John, you should watch it. It was amazing.
I watched Trae Young.
Yeah. So Jason Tatum hit the half-court shot to win the skills challenge, which was great.
Shout out Chris Bosh, the legend.
My best thing was what happened when John Collins went for his dunk. And I know this has been everywhere. But I gotta tell you, John.
Okay.
You know, I like laughing. I like comedy. I like making jokes. I try to keep it semi-serious at all times. I often, get criticized. Do you take things seriously? It's like I try not to. So the two most amusing things that I think have happened, maybe in the last year or two. One, this is a mild spoiler for Red Dead Redemption 2. Skip ahead 30 seconds. If you really don't want a mild spoiler.
No one cares.
So the protagonist, Arthur Morgan, at one point let slip kind of deep into the game, I had a son too.
Okay.
And he died. He was killed in a meaningless robbery. And this is actually an emotionally resonant moment where I'm like, whoa, that's a big backstory. But at that moment, the stereotypical typecasted wise old Indian chief who's taking me on a ride interrupts me because he interrupts me because we've passed the point where he has to pick some plants, and our character goes, "I had a son too, but I lost him. He died." And excuse me, I have to pick some ginseng.
Hell yeah!
That killed me. Like laughter. Like that's a very poorly placed. You broke the moment with "I have to pick some ginseng." So that was probably the funniest moment I experienced in any form of TV media until John Collins did the most unbelievable comedy bit.
Okay,
it was uncomfortably awkward.
Eat your heart out, Blake Griffin.
So he brings out the airmen which
Right.
is like, oh, this is a Tuskegee Airmen type thing. Okay.
Orville and Wilbur Wright.
So he brings out what looked like a dance group or a music. Like I thought it was going to be a musical group. Like, you know me, I don't know pop music. So I thought maybe like they were going to start to do a
We
thing.
can just leave it at music.
What?
You
Rap
don't know
music? Rap
Period.
music?
Just
Music?
no music.
No. So I thought like something's gonna happen there, but no, they just come out. Then they roll out. You know, then it's this is the Wright brothers playing. So it's not Tuskegee, it's Wright brothers or something.
It's Kitty Hawk reference.
So then he puts on the Snoopy outfit.
Snoopy? Oh, the
World
Red
War-
Baron.
He puts on the Red Baron outfit, and all of this is building like this is uncomfortable. There's nothing he can do that's going to make this okay. And then when he follows it up with a clumsy, broke the plane twice dunk, died laughing. Couldn't stop laughing.
See, I think Darling agrees with me on this. If he had made that dunk and they had gotten just the right angle, photograph, John Collins is an icon.
I absolutely agree.
Scarf blowing in the wind?
But he lost the scarf before he even went up.
Well, Keith, he wasn't afraid to dream a little dream. In the words of Chris the Birdman Anderson, I believe it's Watch Me Fly.
We had a few. The dunk contest was marred by several Birdman level. Like Dennis Smith Jr. had like 6 dunks on his first try before he got one.
Darling, we've heard Keith's complaint. Let me get a younger, more erudite perspective on the dunk contest. What did you think?
That build up and then moment of just like crushing disappointment and this like really specific feeling of like wanting to have moved on from that as quickly as humanly possible. Like a beautiful analogy and somewhat like traumatic reminder of what the Lakers were like at the trade deadline. So this was actually my worst of week.
Feed me
that's
your
good.
tears.
Yeah, so we should tell people, if you didn't, the stereotype of him being the Laker guy with the ripping the glasses off, Darling,
Doesn't in there.
Darling is a Lakers fan, just to let our listeners know. So yeah, thank you. Opposite of steak and eggs, worst of week, cream of wheat, worst of week. Darling, go ahead. What
I think he just gave it to you.
But what has you down? Give us a little.
That specifically, I can't escape that moment of wanting to forget this ever happened and really just move onwards. Horrible memories of the trade deadline.
It's got to be like my parents when Trump gets elected. My parents are like, yeah, he's a businessman like me. He'll have it all figured out like me. Now that he's in the White House, stuff's going to get amazing.
Yeah,
and then my
when he
dad like
walked
reads
out-
his tweets and he's like, what is happening?
When he walked out the airmen all dressed up, the buildup was amazing. I think much like your parents, and to get let down was horrible.
I mean, definitely the bumbling dunk without the buildup is nothing. It's like, well,
Right.
he didn't make a very good dunk of the thing. But the length of the buildup,
Did they play taps or anything?
I don't think they did. They
I've
should've
only
had-
seen soundless
They should have had
clips.
the Rocketeer soundtrack or something. It could have been saved if they just incorporated Vince Carter somehow.
Right.
If just Vince Carter was wearing a bomber jacket, I would have gotten so excited. How is Vince Carter not involved?
I know. Why didn't Hamadou jump over Shaq and Vince Carter? He's
don't-
going to put his arm in the basket.
Yeah, it wasn't great. My worst thing, All-Star Saturday night. You know, we have our boy John, Mike Conley, who's so thirsty for the All-Star game.
Sure.
Finally gets an opportunity
Yep.
to get involved on All-Star Saturday night for the Skills Challenge.
How'd Captain Clutch fare?
It's the first Grizzly involved on All-Star Saturday night since. Any guesses, John?
Didn't we have Ben McLemore in a dunk contest? No, he was a king.
It was
Yeah, I don't know.
since Rudy Gay in the 2008 dunk contest.
Oh,
So it's been 11 years since a
Jeez.
Grizzly was an All-Star Saturday night. And after all this buildup in the skills competition, he just jogs. He plays the too cool for school
and
game.
Mike Conley is so fast.
He played the too cool for school.
Yeah, that's lame.
He lollygagged.
Mike Conley's pretty lame.
Like, I didn't understand. I thought actually he was going to try hard, but maybe trying hard he felt like made it seem like he wanted it too bad. I just thought he would try hard.
So yeah, the flip side of that coin is Trae Young cheated. Like
Give it to me.
he threw the ball way out in front.
Trae Young did not cheat. I've heard this take and it's incorrect.
All right, have at it, boys.
So-
Darling, present your argument.
Yeah, that's a trap travel. That's a travel by any standard.
It's not a
in
travel.
the game, and this is. It's not throwing the ball out in front of you.
Throwing
like that?
the ball, you can begin your dribble any number of ways. If he was dribbling, then passed it ahead with two hands
Keith
to
is
himself.
salivating while doing
Oh
this.
my God.
Keith is visibly engorged.
The
blood has left
I
Keith's
was
face.
half asleep. No, you can start your dribble by throwing the ball ahead down the court,
Right.
and then you can chase and get it.
Yeah. When did the clock start though?
That was a brilliant move by Trae Young, knowing it is faster to advance the ball by passing than dribbling. He threw the ball ahead of him, chased it down. However, many players did travel, where when they picked up their dribble, they would take like 7 steps before shooting their layup. It is pretty funny that a skills competition, one had Trae Young not completing his passes, and then other players traveling. Like these are not skills, very arbitrary skills.
I call BS on Darling besmirching Trae Young for cheating when we all know that Joel Embiid kind of cheating is the greatest moment in All-Star history, where he did not make the passes. He just threw the balls away. That's genius.
That is the best thing because Trae Young didn't make the passes. You have 3 chances. What someone needs to do next year, a Luka Doncic or a Joel Embiid, just knock all 3 balls over. Just knock 3.
Absolutely. Just
done.
kick it.
Just done.
Like Kenny Powers to a trash can. Just kick it over. Slam dunk it.
John, what was did you worst of week it out?
Well, mine was the Zion injury, but if we want to take it not to college basketball, because also that's so depressing that we don't even have like the trying for Zion anymore, potentially. Do we know the results? Do we know how bad it is?
It's a mild sprain, which no one knows what that means.
What does this do to Paul George's shoes?
Nothing Zion could have done, I don't think, would have made him not the number 1 pick.
Right. I mean, I guess
torn Achilles.
But remember, Joel
maybe?
Embiid went down to number 3. Stranger things have happened.
But
you had a chance to get a 7'2" perfect basketball specimen, and a back injury took him out of the top.
Yeah, but Joel Embiid was more of a question mark at this point of his career.
I guess
thought he
so.
was
Yeah,
great. But I did see the take today. Like everyone's mad at Duke, and the amateur athletics.
Sure.
And the take was, would you even know who Zion was if it wasn't for Duke? Like, yeah, he had millions and millions of Instagram followers when he was 16. He's huge.
Darling, before we let you go, defend avocado toast as a meal and a stance on life.
Lots of healthy oils, healthy fats. It's a simple approach to breakfast.
But the bread, darling, the bread is full of carbs.
If you're not a keto man like yourself, that's just fine.
All right, overruled. Thank you for being a producer, darling.
And darling, I want to ask you your own question from the Croissant questionnaire.
Okay.
You have not heard our answer yet, but you asked if you were an NPC in a video game who only existed to hang around town and say 1 line of dialogue. What would your 1 line of dialogue be? So, Ryan, can you answer your own question?
Yes, it would be Pokemon Go to the polls.
There it is. I've never been so alienated.
Welcome to my life. This is my sad, scary reality.
And actually, before we let you go, darling, let's move to the awards segment of the program.
Oh man, he's letting you in on
Yeah.
all.
Since Chuck's not here, we could use the extra vote.
Absolutely.
I feel
We
like
need a tie-breaking
Well,
vote.
in case we need a tiebreaker.
Keith and I are contractually, a la Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, Skip. We have to disagree on everything. So,
So, the International Stackhouse of Pancakes Award is given each week to the worst performance in a box score. We don't always do one over the All-Star break. However, this is kind of weird. There was one night of games that was uncovered, and people were horrible. So, we have actually 4 nominees, which is very surprising. I thought we would be very shorthanded here. So, in chronological order, on Thursday night, the last game before the All-Star break, before heading home to his home city of Charlotte to represent the Hornets in front of the home crowd,
is it Kimba?
Kemba Walker against the Magic in a loss was 4 for 20.
Automatic win.
10 points, 3
Incredible.
assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, no turnovers, 1 personal foul. In the same game, Aaron Gordon, who I think is maybe worse than CJ McCollum. I don't know. Aaron Gordon was 4 for 17, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. And then on that same night, who I think is a hipster, the favorite hipster player of the New York Knicks, but John told me I was wrong.
Luke Cornett.
Luke Cornett in a win, a stunning win against the Hawks. Luke Cornett was 3 for 16 for 11 points, 3 boards, 4 steals, which is super sexy.
Keith, real-time hipster New York Knick update.
Oh, yeah?
Because this is, it's a fluid situation, these hipster MVPs. The new MVP of the hipster MVP of the New York Knicks is now talking trash about Frankie Smokes.
Wait,
That is the hipster move, saying negative things about Frank Nicolatino.
Who is it?
That's it. That's all you have to do. That's the hipster maneuver.
Oh, but
besmirching him.
But no one is doing it? You're not specifically citing someone who's doing it?
That's if you want to be an NBA hipster,
if you just want to do
talk
one. Alonzo,
major trash.
Balls in your court, Alonzo Trier.
Yeah.
Talk about how bad Frankie Smokes is. So, all right, we have Kemba Walker, 4 for 20, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 boards. Aaron Gordon, 4 for 17, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Luke Cornett, 3 for 16, 11 points, 3 boards, 4 steals, a block, 2 personal fouls. And what's this? We're including the All-Star game.
Oh.
Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah.
Hometown boy made good, was 6 for 23 in the All-Star game.
That's incredible.
Tanking for Team Giannis. 17 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, no personal fouls. He cost Giannis the game, Team Giannis the game, and cost Giannis the MVP. 6 for 23 in the All-Star game. So, Kemba Walker, Aaron Gordon, Luke Cornett, or Steph Curry exhibition version. Darling, what's your vote? Let's hear your vote first. And I'm pretty sure
he just took a bong rip.
Yeah, that was just a bong rip you heard. That was not an exhale.
Man, I feel like I should stand for Chuck here.
You were in electoral college doing what your
That's right.
people want you to do. Your constituents have told you. Yeah. So you're gonna cast your vote for Kemba.
Kemba was being guarded by the likes of DJ Augustin. Come on.
Yeah, I think Steph Curry redeemed himself with. I know it's outside the box score, but Steph Curry redeemed himself with that incredible alley-oop to.
Okay,
to so
all right.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the 4 for 20.
I'm triggered.
Walker.
What is it?
I'm telling you guys, Steph Curry was throwing no alley-oop pass. That was Steph Curry's bounce the ball into the whole thing.
He was trying to shoot.
He was doing his shot.
He
does those all the time.
Yeah.
And it was going in, by the way.
It might have gone in.
That was not an alley-oop. Those two were never on the same page.
There was a lot of talk about how it was an incredible pass. I don't think it was that incredible of a pass. It was just Giannis is that good.
And it was a shot. He was trying to score, and it was going in, and we were robbed. Giannis robbed us of that moment.
I do.
I also will second the Kemba Walker 420.
I'm going to make it unanimous. Also, Kemba Walker stunk in the All-Star game.
Is it?
Surprise! He's the worst All-Star.
bad weekend for Kemba Walker. Darling, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patronage. You have anything you're looking forward to? You do have a par fadeaway? We didn't tell you to prepare one, but
no, I didn't really give him a lot here.
What are you looking forward to? Second half
as
of the
a
season?
Lakers fan, probably not.
Yeah. You have 25 games left. How many can you win?
The impending doom that is the remaining third of the season for the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know.
You'll hire Mark Jackson.
LeBron says he's activated his whatever, like his
Super Saiyan.
Goku. Super
there you
Saiyan.
go.
He's playing at 280 pounds right now, is word on the street. So I'm looking forward to see how that shapes out.
Who has better hair, LeBron or Piccolo under the turban?
I don't understand whatever that second reference was.
That's my Dragon Ball Z reference. Come on. That's all I got.
I'll go with LeBron and his quickly receding hairline.
LeBron or Mewtwo?
Mewtwo.
See, that's the right answer.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, guys. You guys are the best. Take care.
All right, so that was Ryan Darling, our Patreon producer. If you want to join this show, you got to step it on up. I don't know. What's the name of that one? Is that the Bottomless Mimosa?
Something like
the Bottomless Mimosa tier? Listen, we don't.
And it couldn't be more fitting than for Darling, who is literally the bane of my existence in the Slack chat. If Darling can come on and it can be that fun, I mean, anyone can do it.
That's right. So thanks to Ryan for supporting this show. I will say we also have a couple other things coming up. My par fadeaway. I got a lot of par fadeaways, John. One We're having a Grizzlies watch party tomorrow at the Mainstay. If you are anywhere near Nashville, Tennessee, come on out and watch the Chandler Parsons return game.
I'm literally getting texted by the bar owner about this as we speak.
If that doesn't entice you to come, how about the free first drink on us? Fast Break Breakfast will buy your first drink if you were coming out there for the watch party. So 7 p.m. Friday at the Mainstay. That is Friday, February 22nd, the Grizzlies' first game in 8 days against our old friends, the Los Angeles Clippers. Jaren Jackson Unleashed, John. They've promised me Jaren Jackson Jr. Unleashed. What does that mean?
I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. Bobbleheads.
Oh, yeah. I also got the PR email saying if you go to the Grizzlies game on Friday, you will receive a voucher for the giveaway, which apparently has not arrived.
I'm telling you, this is a long con to
season.
Move the Grizzlies to Seattle.
I am starting to believe they are just tanking the franchise.
I mean,
they're just making the fans
As I look
unhappy.
longingly into the eyes inscribed on Keith's Chandler Parsons yoga mat,
Oh yeah, we should give that away tomorrow.
as as out of touch a giveaway as there can be in the world of the Memphis Grizzlies, a Chandler Parsons yoga mat.
I think we're safe enough distance now away from the time that we can say this, and no one will ever hear this that will care.
Yep.
But like the Grizzlies pitched doing a Chan Kun night for their Grizzlies for the giveaway, and Chandler Parsons smartly nixed the idea.
Of course,
that would have backfired.
Right.
that would have not gone great.
I mean, I have more faith in Chandler Parsons running this franchise than Chris Wallace.
It's not. That's
Chris
not good.
Meatball Wallace.
So we haven't talked about it the whole show, and maybe we could wear that as a badge of honor. But have you kept track, and do you want to talk at all about Anthony Davis, John? Anthony Davis had a rough last week in the public eye.
I'd certainly have kept track of it, but I certainly feel like this is more regularly occurring than what people are making out to be. This happens a lot.
Oh, right.
Right.
But I think he's so bad at PR though. All his comments
I mean, I can't believe that they let what comes out come out.
Right.
I think this happens all the time, and we just don't like usually they're like, whoa, don't don't print that.
Well,
but now he may not have someone helping him.
Well, and he's just doing this live at All-Star Media sessions.
Yeah.
Like Adam Silver in his press conference was saying stuff like, this is the system we designed. This is what we wanted to happen for our stars to be upfront with our owners and our teams to let them know, I will not be signing an extension.
Right.
So you should make a move. But Adam Silver was saying, guys, this is don't ask, don't tell. Do it behind closed doors.
Right.
Don't let us see it all. And so they blew it that way. And then Anthony Davis coming out was saying, no, I never had a list. And then saying like, yeah, my list is 29 teams. So literally every team but the one I'm contractually bound to play for and whose fans actually like me, I will play for anyone else. But I think he's so oblivious.
I was about to say, I just don't think he knows what he's doing. And I think lots of players don't know what they're doing. I just usually think there's someone holding their hand or someone talking to the press saying, oh, what he just said, do not print that.
Right.
Like, I think that happens all the time.
His quote about like, yes, I'm going to leave the team and I'm going to write one of those really nice, heartfelt Instagram posts like everyone does.
Yeah.
One of the worst quotes in print you will ever read.
But if you watch him, it doesn't seem that bad.
It seemed relatable when he said it. Like he's just being he's trying to, he just doesn't know what he's saying. It's coming out wrong.
No, man, this is a guy with the unibrow.
Also in that game, in his final game, where he left and he left the arena.
Right.
Nerlens Noel destroyed him.
Yes.
That's who Nerlens Noel had 22 and 12
you're
against
stealing my
that,
thunder. That's absolutely that's my favorite part of it all.
I guess my final part fadeaway outside of the watch party, outside of AD, outside of the last 23, 25 games is going to be incredible. But our boy Marshawn Brooks going back to China, John.
Indeed.
The diamond in the rough that Hollinger and the boys uncovered last season.
There's no joke that I have thought of, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, that isn't racially insensitive. I'm afraid I have nothing to give to Marshawn Brooks. Although enjoy enjoy. Feel like that's a great adventure for Marshawn.
He's going back where he belongs.
And he's
He's gonna be a star.
Damn.
What?
He belongs with JB Bickerstaff.
JB Bickerstaff should go.
He should go to China.
How many buckets can he get in China? Can he average 8 per game?
Oh yeah,
He's my age, I think.
JB.
Maybe
This is probably one of those moments where we find out he's younger than us, and we
he
slowly
probably-
walk.
I think he is. But
oh Jesus,
yeah, Marshawn and Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley going to get that bag. Headed back to
Michael
China.
Beasley tunneled his way to China with flair and panache.
No, yeah,
That's the worst player who could force a trade and get a coach fired.
he probably could have, man. He probably could have. But all right. So that's what I'm looking forward to. If you want to support our program, you can do that at patreon.com/fastbreakbreakfast. Also, if you're buying tickets, use SeatGeek, SeatGeek.com. They take all the other ticket sites, they collate all that information, put it together, show you what the best deals are. If you're going to a basketball game or a hockey game or comedy, anything, use our code FastBreakBreak, same as the Twitter handle, FastBreakBreak, gets you $20 off your purchase. You can't beat that. So buy your tickets, SeatGeek.com, use our code FastBreakBreak. You can follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for listening. And remember, breakfast is the most important thing.
Darling!
Yeah, never apologize for being G&G. Fair break, man. You understand?